suppose there is a massive cyclone into sea, and this particular cyclone is continuously approaching to the nearby locality. Like, how can we able to manage? Like, how can we able to predict the direction of this particular cyclone, which going towards the locality? Like, we need to calculate the exact time, that time at which the cyclone will reach to that particular locality. We need to calculate the direction, the time, and based upon that calculations we have to take certain decisions. We have to relocate the people in that particular locality, okay, in order to save that locality. So guys, like, can we able to do that? Yes, nowadays we have the different weather satellites. Those weather satellites can give you the accurate results, but based upon the certain calculations, and these particular calculations are related to the fluid dynamics, the fluids momentum equations. Like, in this particular cyclone which is there into the sea, like, the what will be the, like, the motion of the water particles, what will be the motion of the water molecules, in which direction it will move. So we have to calculate the net resultant force acting on the water, okay, and we have to calculate the direction of that particular net resultant force. So over here the magnitude of the force and the direction, so this will become the vector quantity. So, and by applying, okay, by applying the Navier-Stokes, by applying the Navier-Stokes equation, we can be able to calculate the direction as well as the time taken. Okay, we can predict the both by using this Navier-Stokes equation. So guys, in this particular video we are going to learn about the Navier-Stokes equations, which is used in the fluid dynamics, which is used to calculate the fluid particles, the motion of the fluid particles under certain conditions. So this particular Navier-Stokes equation is nothing but the set of partial differential equations. That this particular differential equations, it is like derived in the 18th century by the two physicists, by the two scientists, that is Navier and Stokes. Well guys, this particular Navier-Stokes equation is based upon the Newton's second law of motion, that is equals to force is equals to mass into acceleration. Over here guys, the force is the product of mass of individual body into the acceleration, the rate at which it moves, okay. So if we want to apply this particular rule in the fluid dynamics, the particular like the fluid particles, let's say in the sea, like the waves, the water waves, these particular water waves, we cannot be able to track down the motion of the each and every water molecule, okay. So there are the different forces which are acting on the water molecule, so we have to calculate the all the forces. So let's check it out, all the forces first of all. So guys, when a fluid particle is there, like that particular fluid particles has its own weight, that is nothing but the gravity. The force acts just because of the gravity. The second force is nothing but the force, that is the pressure force. When the fluid moves into the pipe, it is having the certain different layers, okay. All the fluid particles are moving in a straight line, and suppose the flow becomes turbulent flow, so in that particular scenario the fluid particles exert the force, exerts the pressure on the consecutive layer. So in that particular scenario, that particular condition, we have to taken care of this pressure force. So this becomes the second force over here. The third force is nothing but the viscous force. The fourth force is the compressive, and the last one is the turbulent flow. So guys, all these forces were like acts on the fluid. So the net resultant force will be the summation of all of these five forces. So now we have got the equation, that is the equation of the motion for the fluids. The total force acting on the fluid is equals to the force due to gravity plus the pressure force plus the viscous force plus the compressive and the turbulence flow. So guys, over here, if you remove the compressive force, the equation becomes the Reynolds equation of motion. So this particular Reynolds equation of the motion is mainly suitable for the turbulent flow. It focuses on the turbulent flow only. So this particular Reynolds equation of motion, that is the net resultant force, will be the summation of the force due to gravity, pressure force, viscous force and the turbulent force. again guys, in this particular Reynolds equation of the motion, if we remove the turbulent flow, the equation becomes the Navier-Stokes equations, and this is our today's topic. So, and we will be focusing on this particular equation only. So this becomes the Navier-Stokes equation, and in this particular Navier-Stokes equation, if we further remove the viscous force, the equation becomes Euler's equation of motion. So guys, over here these are the three equations of the motion for the fluid particle. So guys, like before going to our major topic, like there are certain assumptions. The flow has to be steady. The fluid which is used over here, that has to be perfectly incompressible fluid. There should not be any change in the volume, and the fluid has to be non-viscous fluid. Though this particular Navier-Stokes is suitable for the viscous fluids, like this is the assumption which is taken care over here. We want to now so now let's jump to the derivation of the Navier-Stokes equation. Like the first base is nothing but the force is equals to mass into acceleration, where now we have got the forces by this Navier-Stokes equation. We have got all the forces, okay, on one side. What about the mass and the acceleration? When when that particular water particle or that particular fluid particles, okay, this particular fluid particle is having its own density, so that becomes mass over here. And acceleration, so acceleration is nothing but the rate of change of velocity with respect to time, so this becomes the du by dt, so this becomes the velocity. So over here we have got the formula, that is nothing but the rho, that is the density, into du by dt is equals to the force. So now we have to add all of those forces on the right hand side, okay. So over here the forces, this is nothing but these are all the forces which acts on the fluid particle, minus delta p plus mu delta square u plus pressure force. So these two factors over here, you can see these are the internal forces, whereas this one is the external force that is acts on a fluid particle. So guys, our whole of the formula for the Navier-Stokes, the whole of the derivation becomes rho into delta u, rho into du by dt is equals to minus delta p plus mu delta square u plus pressure force. So guys, over here delta p is nothing but the pressure gradient. Okay, now this particular pressure gradient can be like act on that particular fluid particle in x direction, in y direction, or else it can be act in a z direction, that is the 3D. We are talking about the 3D notation, okay. So now this particular pressure gradient can be written as delta p by delta x in x direction, delta p by delta y in y direction, delta p by delta z in z direction. Whereas this second term deals with the viscous force, that is nothing but the internal friction of the fluids. So guys, this is nothing but the derivation of the Navier-Stokes equation. Now guys, coming back towards the cyclone. The cyclone is approaching, okay, but guys, it is not possible practically to track down each and every particle in cyclone, in that particular cyclone. So we have to calculate the net resultant force, that is like we have to calculate the diameter of the cyclone, and in that particular diameter in a different areas, different districts, like how the behavior of the wind, how the behavior of the water particles is there. Like we have to calculate the net resultant force, because guys, in actual practice we cannot be able to track down each and every particle. So in that particular scenario, the Navier-Stokes equation becomes very much useful, okay. We can predict, we can track down the motion, but guys, this particular Navier-Stokes equation has some sort of the limitations, like it is not 100% accurate. So if it would be 100% accurate, then a lot of millions of lives can be saved, like a lot of people die in different like just because of the cyclones, like volcanoes. So all of this we can eliminate just because of this simple equation, Navier-Stokes equation. So guys, this is not 100% accurate. So this is the reason this particular Navier-Stokes equation got listed in the Millennium Prize problem. If anyone any mathematician will able to solve this Navier-Stokes equation, will able to predict the 100% efficiency of the Navier-Stokes equation and the smoothness of the Navier-Stokes equation, then he would be rewarded with the million of dollars, and then he will become rich overnight by solving this whole of the equation, Navier-Stokes equation. So that's why guys, this particular Navier-Stokes equation has got mere importance. Guys, now let's talk about some of the applications. Okay, this particular Navier-Stokes equations can be applicable in the weather forecasting, as we have seen the different volcano sites, like the lava. When the lava is coming out from the volcano, we can model up everything. Okay, also, like when the Formula 1 racing car approaches to the speed, we can model the aerodynamics, we can model how the wind is flowing around the periphery of the Formula 1 racing car, we can model the aerodynamics shape of the different jets, not only jet skis as well. So we can model them as per the suitability to the Navier-Stokes equations. Okay, also the drug delivery, like the different vaccines, different drugs produced by the pharmaceutical industries, the drug delivery and efficiency of the drug when it goes into your blood, like how does it flows, we can be able to predict that, we can able to model that by using this Navier-Stokes equation. Not only like all of the hazards, like all of the like the volcanoes, cyclones, all of the destructions can be eliminated, and a lot of lives and a lot of money will get ultimately saved just because of this simple Navier-Stokes equation. So guys, I hope you liked my today's video. If you having any doubts, any queries guys, please do subscribe to my education channel, Engineers Academy. And thank you so much guys for watching this educational video. Guys, please do subscribe to my channel, it is absolutely free of cost.